why are we just watching this person walk around with school books? Like, why is it called Halloween? Why isn't it called like Girl with Books Walks Down the Street? So I watched Halloween Kills. I also watched Halloween, the sequel that came out in 2018, just before it. I always rewatch the original Halloween every year too, and it's just got me thinking, as I do every year, what is it that makes the music in Halloween just so terrifying? You might not know, it was written by John Carpenter, who also directed the film. The story goes that John Carpenter played it for some executives, and they watched it the first time and they were like, this is not scary at all. This isn't terrifying. I don't get it. So he was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go write the music and it's gonna make it terrifying. And that's exactly what he did. No DAW, no plugins, no sound libraries, VSTs, nothing to write the music for him and just drag and drop stuff. No, it's just what was in his head. And apparently he was inspired by something that his dad taught him on piano when he played piano when he was very young. And he just wrote it in 3 days in the studio. And he went back to those executives, played it for him again, and they were like, this is absolutely terrifying. There's still something about the music that scares us after all those years. And to explore that, I'm gonna watch some of my favorite scenes, probably some of the most classic scenes from the film, and we're gonna break down the score. So what do we have in the main theme? You have a perfect fifth interval going to a minor six. And if you play it all together, you can hear that minor second interval, that horrible half step that is used throughout the score. So right from the get-go, we're setting up the intervallic quality of the score. The rhythm is an odd meter, 5/4, so that's 5 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that rhythm is part of what makes it so terrifying. It sounds like something's coming. Like, it sounds terrifying already. We don't even really know what to be terrified of yet when we hear it the first time, but it's just building fear, building anticipation. And then we get this bass line, which is very simple. And that's the thing I can't say enough, is just how beautifully simple the score is. We just have an F sharp in the bass, moving up a minor third, and then to B flat. But the chords we have basically are F sharp minor, and then like a B flat, it's a B flat minor. So we're doing a lot of shifts of thirds here. We have F sharp minor, then the B flat minor, then E minor, to G sharp minor, then to B minor. I love this part. I love it when the bass, it's like, it's almost like, it's kind of like a pentatonic scale kind of thing. Like, I just really like that. I want to go to the very first scene after the credits, which of course is when Michael is walking up to the house, and we all know what he's going to do after that. Now, what is that sound? That crazy, like, stuck in your ear, like there's a bug in your ear sound. Basically, what you have is a perfect fourth interval. So this is an F and B flat. And then it comes down to what sounds like a half step around G and G sharp. It's so horrible. And it just keeps ringing. That's the other thing that works so well, is it just keeps ringing throughout. It just keeps on going, and it's just like building and building and building that suspense. Okay, so this is so cool. So we're kind of in G minor and kind of E minor. Now we're sort of in like an F, lowered 2 kind of sound. So like F, flat 2, flat 3. And I hesitate to call it a mode because we're not really given all that information. We're really not sure. It's really just A simple little 3-note part. That's it. Now after that, we're gonna move down again, but this time we're gonna be kind of on a C tonality. So C and D flat. Sort of feels like this, right? It's not exactly the same by any means, but it does have this rise in a minor third. But if it were the theme, it would be... So you can see John Carpenter was thinking in a very compositional way. He's using these intervals specifically and using them in different moments in the score. Really, it all comes from that main theme, because that main theme is what sets up that minor third. But it also sets up the minor second too, right there, which is here. So God, that is why the score is so impressive, because it is so genius, but it's simple. It's very simple. It's using very simple musical intervals. It's not, obviously it's not something to the scope or grandeur of a symphony or some Beethoven's Fifth or whatever, but it's very clever and it works so well, especially for the film, which is its main goal here. It almost uses like a bass drop. I know that's kind of a weird thing. Really, it's been going from high to low. It gave us this high buzzy stuff and then kind of had this little piano part and then the high buzzy stuff and then boom, we just get scared with this big low note that freaks us out when the murder's happening. And again, we've still got our little, you know, like wasp sound up at the top. So we got... And what is he stabbing right there? It's like when the camera moves, it's like, is he cutting the air? Or also, why do you need to brush your hair with your I asked my wife, she said this is not a thing. Maybe those of you out there, look, I'm not gonna judge anybody else. It just seems like a weird choice, brushing your hair with your... So I'm going to specifically talk about the moment when Laurie walks around the corner and then the shot changes and we see her on the other side.
They're coming by to look at the house at 10:30. Be sure to leave it under the mat.
Promise!
Now we have this piano part that's just doing this. Carpenter likes to give us something like that, sort of without context, that's just very dry, and we kind of almost don't know what to feel about it, and maybe it doesn't even sound that terrifying in and of itself, and then boom, something comes in and recontextualizes that part, and that's what happens here. We start with this. And then we get... But this keeps going, so... And then it moves down. So sort of all together. So again, chord-wise, it's the exact same thing. This one moment especially is the exact same as the theme. We've got an F sharp sort of kind of tonality, sort of an F sharp minor kind of thing. And then B flat minor. Again with our minor 6. The other cool thing here is the part we usually have in the bass, in the main theme, actually is our melody now. It's our top voice. So it's like the top and the bottom voice have flipped. So the full thing is... So it's a drop of a perfect fifth. Now where have we heard this perfect fifth before? It's so good. It's like a combination of both parts. get that perfect fifth interval. But instead of up a perfect fifth, it's down. But God, if we didn't have that music, this wouldn't be scary. And that's why I totally relate to the executive guy. It's like, again, why are we just watching this person walk around with school books? Like, why is it called Halloween? Why isn't it called like Girl with Books Walks Down the Street? I think I'd be disappointed in myself if I didn't do at least one kill scene. So let's do one now.
Linda, you asshole. Okay, Linda. Come on out.
I really love this scene. The music is kept simple, which is the best part about it. It's not a, elaborately scored thing. We're not getting the theme or any of the other kind of cooler compositional bits. All of that air, all of that silence is left open for the sound in the room. We hear Michael breathing. That's one of the most terrifying things about this movie. You know he's hiding somewhere because you can hear him. And we can't see him, and we don't know exactly when it's gonna happen, but we know it's coming. And that's what the silence does to us. So John Carpenter, being masterful, all he needed to do was just accent the kill moment with that low note down there. Then when Michael does the stab, the music dies away, and then we hear that breathing again, and then we just watch him watch what he's done. He just sits there and kind of looks at it, and that's such a famous thing with him moving his head like that. Here we also get this extra note, and that half step again brings us back to it's all in there. It's all in the DNA of the score. It's all connected. The next scene is right after Linda is
Are you fooling around again? I'll kill you if this is a joke.
Annie? Annie?
Once again, I love the music in this scene because it is simple. It's just a half step. Once again, what we start with. That's so cool. So we get that. And then we just keep going down chromatically. Down to F. Down to E. And it's so simple, yet it works so well, and it's so beautiful. Also, real quick, I just had to tune my keyboard back down to A440. This score is in different tunings in different places. Some musical ideas are in 440, some of them are a little more in 444. So a lot of this video, I've been closer to 444. I don't know if this was intentional or not on the part of John Carpenter when they recorded it. I'd be interested to know if any of you have noticed this before. So if you have, put it in the comments. Now I'm gonna watch the scene where Laurie finds the bodies. Ooh. I really love this part because we get this really high figure that is, honestly, it's really hard to pick out, but I'm gonna get close. So we get this. Which we've heard before, but then we get this. It's almost like a G minor, but it sounds a little bit out of tune, and it's so high, it's really hard to get a handle on. I just really like that. It's so terrifying. Now this is the same as the scene that starts in the very beginning. Remember when the light goes off in the bedroom? But this time it's down a half step. So again, this thing that keeps happening, all these musical ideas are transposed down. Sometimes, it's a minor second, sometimes it's a whole step, but generally they're being transposed down. And I think that going down it contributes to the doom. We're essentially going down in the film, right? More people are dying, they're getting murdered, the anticipation is going up, we're getting more and more fearful. So the going down just makes tons of sense for that. I love this because it's just dynamite chase music. It's very simple, but it's really rhythmic. So much of this score is rhythmic, and this is just absolutely great. And just like this, how we were talking about how sometimes it goes on for a long time and you don't know when the next thing's gonna happen. This is the same thing. It just pairs so well with watching her run and try to escape, and the beginning of this chase is happening. You're watching him come after her. It just pairs so nicely. And then we get another repetitive figure. So there are all these little rhythmic things that repeat. Here's one thing. But then we get up top. And then we just get a good old minor second again, that half-step interval. I can't play it with two hands. I'm playing two notes with my thumb. So really what we're getting is three parts. We have the bass, but then we have this quarter note pulse at the top, which is also helping it drive forward. And then we have sort of like a pad, almost like our chord, except it's just two notes in the middle. The last scene I want to look at is the last scene of the movie. It's the very end, and it's so famous and legendary, and it actually uses the same little musical idea from the last scene, just at a different pitch level. Let's check it out. So once again, we get a musical idea we've heard before, the one we just talked about. And we get our pad, and then the thing on top. But actually, to kind of break what I said about everything going down, now we have gone up a half step. When we heard it just a few minutes before, it was on F sharp. Now it's on G. Maybe this is a way to signal that the end is coming, that Michael's reign of terror is about to come to an end for now. Because up to this point, all of the musical ideas have been going down, right? They've been shifting down, a lot of them. But now we're going back up. So it's almost like we're subverting Michael in a way. It's like his luck up to this point is about to run out. Just like in the murder scene where the knife was almost the thing that kind of shut off the music, it was queued up that way. Same thing happens this time with the mask being put back on. I love that the music stops in time for us to hear the sound of him putting the mask back on, because that's such a what the moment. I mean, it's like, oh my God, we see Michael's face. But then we actually get to hear him put it back on, and then immediately after that, we hear the sound of the gunshot. So just another really clever moment where the music got out of the way at the perfect time. It's also really perfect how the theme comes in when we look off the balcony and see Michael is gone, because, this motive is used for a lot of things. Sometimes it just, introduces us to a scene. Sometimes it's sort of like incidental music, kind of just getting us from one scene to the next. Sometimes it's used for dread, probably most of the time for dread and fear. But in this case, I think it really is showing thinking. Looking at Dr. Loomis, when you hear that playing, it's making me think about what he's thinking about, what's running through his head. He just discovered a man that he shot several times, that he watched fall off a balcony, is obviously still alive because he's not there where he should be. He should be dead. And you see the cogs turning. I just shot this guy. Why is he still alive? Who is he? What is he? He's obviously some pinnacle of evil. Just, is he invincible? Is he immortal? All these questions are in your head. And luckily, we had all these really great sequels after the first one that explained us everything about where Michael came from and who he is. Not. This one in 2018, that one was pretty good. I'm glad that they erased all those other movies. And this new one that just came out this year, go watch it. I don't want to tell you anything about it. Just go watch it. You'll form your own opinion. All right, that's it. That was a ton of scary fun. Hey, if you guys liked this video, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you've got any suggestions for future content, I'd love to hear it. I'm gonna start doing more stuff like this. I wanna break down anything. I mean, obviously anything music related, but I really love movie scores and I wanna do more like this. And please let me know if there's anything I missed, or maybe something you've noticed that other people would find interesting. Put that in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you next time. Halloween. Me mama, me mama, me mama, me. Mine are 6, they're so scary. It's so happy now.